You're much bigger than you think you are. We have a very narrow view of who we are as people. And so a lot of our work at Forte is to kind of open that up. There are only two universal languages in the world, and that is nonverbal communication and music. In that, you don't need training to understand and enjoy music, and we don't need training to understand nonverbal communication. We've all been wired since birth to communicate nonverbally or to read nonverbal cues. However, if you do want to be systematic and purposeful and perform music or nonverbal communication, then you definitely do need training. So, isn't that one of the fears of presentation, is that we're going to lose our content? And so presence allows us to be present and just access not just our content, but our awesomeness. To say to ourselves, I got this, even if I forget my content. I mean, I'm doing a 3-hour seminar with you today. I don't have 3 hours of memorized content. Right? I just don't. That would be boring for you, first of all. Right? I know what I'm going to talk about, and then I trust that when I get here that I'm going to be present and show up, and that what needs to be said is going to be said. That's the best kind of presentations, I think. You know, I'm in trial, and I'm going to touch you, so don't freak out. So you look like you might freak out. And you have the attorneys that come over and they go, my client has been charged with murder. And I'm just like, okay, we're done. We're done here. Because you basically said, and he did it, right? I'm attaching it to him. I mean, you should never go into your boss's office clutching your report and say, what did you think of my report? Because if they go, well, it sucked, now it's attached to you. Right? I'm being serious. You should always put it on the table and go, what did you think of my report? And if they said, I loved it, you can go, thank you very much. Worked really hard on that. Right? So never be a leader if you can't breathe well under stress. That's not in your handouts. I'm going to say it again so you write it down. You will never be a leader unless you can breathe well under stress. Those are the people that we trust and believe in. You've got to be able to access your breathing because it affects everything. It affects your voice, it affects your body language, it affects everything. Ladies, have you seen this? Because men are the only ones that do this. They take their thumbs and they loop them through the, right? And then they do this. That's called framing. Don't do that. Look what I got. You're going to see it tonight at the happy hour, I tell you. Don't do that. Is that we want to become more aware of our bodies because that's primarily how we communicate. Communication starts up here. Once we get clear there, let's look at what we're doing with our bodies so that we can be present that way. We also need to be aware of space. We also need to be aware of space. I emceed the Habitat for Humanity breakfast back in April, and this was 1,100 people in there. There's no way that I could have emceed this event if I didn't get aware the minute that I got in there of the space and inhabit the space with my presence. We've all seen those presenters who just present in this little bubble of space. So part of presence is really sending out your presence into the space that you are in and even beyond. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay, we started yesterday by asking you, do you belong in court or life, in your own skin? So I'm going to ask you that now. I want you to answer me. Do you belong? Yes. And are you willing to communicate that? Yes. Well, then I thank you very much and hope you really did find here the power of presence. Thank you so much. A cheer. Thank you. That is how I get my standing ovations, by the way. And that's what I hope to leave you with today, is that you make the decision to be a rock star, communicator or otherwise. Because no one's ever going to come and say, now you're ready, now you know enough. You've got to own it. There's a reason why I'm here on this stage or I get to work with some of the best trial attorneys is because I own the fact that I knew what I needed to know and the things I didn't know I would learn. I decided I was a rock star. I learned the skills, and so can you. Thank you very much.